Hi everyone, I am Hemakumar. Welcome to Practical Hands-on Cybersecurity course. About me, I am a bug hunter. I do have around 10 years of experience in web app penetration testing, API, mobile, and cloud penetration testing. I have vast experience into cybersecurity. And coming to my Twitter handle, you can follow me at Hemant1261. Let me show you my Twitter handle quickly. Here is my Twitter handle. You can follow me at the rate Hemant1261. And I do have a Udemy course which was made on practical bug bounty techniques, which this will discuss about introduction about who we are and the recon that we do and all different tools installation and different vulnerabilities which were explained in detail with hands-on. And I do have a YouTube channel which I will show you later. So that's it, and let's get back to the next topic, which is what is cybersecurity. So in simple terms, let's say I know we do live in an environment or digital world where our work lives, which in our personal lives, right? And we do have all connected to internet and mobile computing and electronic media, right? So unfortunately, this widespread phenomenon makes us more vulnerable than ever to malicious attacks, which will happen on a daily basis, right? So it can be invasions of privacy, or it can be a fraud, or it can other such bad events which will happen because of these malicious attacks which are happening on a daily basis. So cybersecurity will always keep us safe from hackers, and also we can say cyber criminals and other agents of frauds, which we need to make sure that we need to do practice this cybersecurity by defending computers, servers, mobile devices, and electronic systems, I would say networks and our data from malicious attacks. So we need to have these practices which we need to follow to safeguard from these malicious attacks. We can call this also as information technology security or electronic information security, where we need to protect it against the unauthorized access data. It can be data centers and other computerized systems. So as we all know that cybersecurity is a continuous changing field. So definitely with the development of technologies that are evolving, so definitely because of those technologies got evolving, there might be a chance that a lot of cyber attacks can happen. So we need to protect the organizations, employee and individuals, the services that we have in organization, and which will implement cybersecurity tools, training, I would say risk management approaches, and continually we need to update our systems as our technology changes and evolve, right? So that's pretty much about cybersecurity. So I will try to show you before going to the different domains. Let me show you quickly the live attacks that are happening currently, right? So here is the live view from fireeye. So where lot of attacks are happening now currently. If you see, Colombia to Algeria, Algeria to Egypt, these are all different attacks that are currently happening. If you see the top five industries that got vulnerable to these attacks are financial services or consulting, telecom, and manufacturing and insurance, right? So if the currently the time is 10:49, and you can see current attacks today were almost 6,87,689. So this is the data that they will take based on the database that they have from FireEye. So this is a live count which you can see how things are going on.
There is a website which is called haveibeenpawned.com. So here, when you type in your mail ID and if you click on pawn, so basically this have I been pawned is This will enable you to discover if our account was exposed in most of the data breaches that will happen directly, which was searching in the system, right? So there are certain breaches which will have sensitive data, which might impact others, and probably maybe there may be attackers able to find that member of the site, right? So if you see, I got my mail ID got available in 7 data breaches and found one page. Look, let's look into this. Which are all those? So one is Domino's app. So probably I might ordered Domino's pizzas on some time ago, right? Probably Domino's pizza application got hacked and there is a breach happened in April 2021. Okay, let's discuss different cybersecurity domains that we have. So first one is risk assessment. Risk assessment is process of identifying what kind of hazards that currently exist, right? So it also defines which workplace hazards are likely to cause harm to employees, right? So we have different types of risk assessments or different types of tests that we do here, kind of penetration testing. Again, in penetration testing, you have a blue teaming, red teaming, social engineering, infrastructure, source code scanning, data centric risk assessment, third party library scanning, vulnerability scanning. Again, different types, which we're gonna explain it later. Coming to the next one, which is threat intelligence. So it is a data which is collected, processed, and analyzed to understand what exactly the threat actors' motives are. It also enables us to make it faster and more informed about the decisions that we make, which will impact the threat actors. At least it will change the behavior from reactive to proactive. The reason why it is important is it will enlighten us and will also give us the unknown, uh, or enabling the security teams to make better decisions. It will help us understand by revealing any adversarial motives and the tactics, techniques, or procedures. It will definitely help us understand the security professionals better, understand about the threat actors decision making process, right? That's a really very good advantage about the threat intelligence. So again, it has the external, internal, again different contextual, which we will explain it later videos. Coming to the security operations, here the main motto of security operations is to monitor, prevent, detect, investigate, and respond to the cyber threats which are having around the globe. It has a different types like vulnerability management, which we do as part of SecOps operations, incident response, active defense, protection, detection, recovery, everything. Coming to the security architecture, to make it short, it is a set of security principles, or we call it as methods or models, which are designed to align to our objectives and help keep your organization safe from cyber threats. It's simply, in simple terms, security architecture translates the business requirements to executable security requirements. Let's take an example. An architect of home or school or office blocks has much the same job as security architect. So they examine the property, they take into account such factors such as client preference, soil type, topography, and climate. Example, the current status of the property, and they will produce a plan to achieve the desired outcome. Like for example, blueprint, right? So in the same case of builders and contractors, they construct the building itself under the guidance of architect to ensure it meets the objectives. In a similar way, our security architect will convert the business requirements to security requirements, which he also monitors that as part of SDLC lifecycle. Coming to frameworks and standards, it's a set of documents which describes guidelines or standards or best practices which are designed for cybersecurity risk management. So these frameworks exist to reduce organizations' exposure to the weakness or vulnerabilities to the hackers, right? And also the cyber criminals, which they might exploit the weaknesses which are already there in the application. Some examples are NIST, ISO, SANS, COBIT, right? Coming to the physical security, it's a kind of a protection to the personal or hardware or software, networks and data from physical actions and events that could cause serious loss or damage to an enterprise, agency, or institution. So these are all different types of cybersecurity domains which we have. Just to make it short, I just divided into graphical, nice GUI. Coming to the competencies, if a beginner who want to come to cybersecurity, so he has to understand or learn all these basic skills like networking, what TCP/IP is, what HTTP basics, web servers basics, programming skills like basic Linux skills, cybersecurity concepts. There are some principles which we need to understand, and OWASP top 10. So which we're gonna explain it later. So he should be in a position to understand all these skills, and if he do any basic certification like EJPT or CEH, in addition to the security plus and network plus, right? So he should be in a good position to crack the fresher job in cybersecurity. In addition to the beginner, if you want to become an intermediate, he need to understand at least for the developer, he want to transition from as a developer to cybersecurity professional. In addition to the beginner, as he already a developer, he knows the programming skills, so he need to understand the secure coding, SAST and DAST, which is static analysis and dynamic analysis, exploit development, and vulnerability risk analysis. If it is from QA, as he might not be aware of the coding part, in addition to beginner, he need to understand the cloud security, IoT security, container security, and malware analysis. If it is from the leadership team who want to transition from other to cybersecurity, he need to understand the regulatory guidelines and frameworks and standards, the understanding of all the methodologies, right? So it's the same case for expert, for developer, these are the things, and for QA, they need to understand these things. For leadership, some governance and SOP procedures, right? And we do have a certifications for each which they want to do. And there are additional certifications are there which I didn't mention here, but we'll explain it later. If you see as part of say, SDLC, software development lifecycle, so we do have requirements gathering, design, development, and there is a testing and deployment, right? So there is a pre-production vulnerability assessment and post-production risk assessment which we do. As part of each development phase, we do have security involved. Security team will be involved right from gathering the security requirements, creating the quality bit gates when SaaS tools are running out, performing security risk analysis, and at design stage they will establish the requirements in detail, and they will do some perform attack analysis. They'll do some threat modeling using some different tools which we have, and third party library scanning. At the development stage, they will evaluate some tools, and they will do some SAST and DAS scans, and they definitely do source code security reviews by conducting using automated tools and manual reviews. And actual once the development is done and once the code is deployed to staging environment before the production, actual vulnerability assessment will start. They will do a manual dynamic analysis or automated dash scans, and the manual penetration testing, and they will find out all the vulnerabilities here, and they will create a report, and they will schedule a call with the developers and project team, and they will explain all the vulnerabilities to them, and they will remediate all the vulnerabilities, and then security team will retest it again, and that will be released to production. So in production, we always need to ensure a monitoring is in place. So we always need to have that incident response if something happens, and any good tools which will have a continuous monitoring and pop up the alerts if something going crazy. So the maintenance part is really critical, and we need to follow the steps. So all these need to be followed as per the compliance or regulatory standards or frameworks. So which we do have few, right? So let's come back to the demo. It's a demo time. So let's hack a mobile device and take full control of a device, right? So there is a tool which we can do an interactive reversal. Okay, so where I have created demo.apk file on port 4444, and I will run an interactive shell here on 4444, and let's see. So as when any victim opens the browser, right, and navigate to that particular URL, the demo.apk file, and once he installs it, right, so it's taking some time to load. But so Apache was already started in my mission, and you can see the default home page here, right. Whenever any victim navigates to the demo.apk file, let's say, let me type demo.apk. It's taking some time to load. But okay, let me explain you. Whenever any victim types on this URL, it will get downloaded, right? And I will get a reversal like this. If I do help, if I go to the help command, you can see all the list of menu options which you can do, or we can take control of the mobile device. Let's say if I want to take a peek as 0, it's taking the picture from the actual device without victim's intervention, right? It's taking some time, but let's wait for a few more seconds. All right, thank you so much. So let me show you the topics which I'm gonna cover. So on a daily basis, this is training is scheduled for 2 months. Like we'll discuss what is cybersecurity, domains, offensive security, defensive security, the principles. We'll set up the Kali Linux. We'll do hands-on on all the Linux fundamentals. Like we will understand what is networking fundamentals, what is the OSI layers, how the data will flow from presentation layer to physical layer, right? And how a web application usually works, right? How whenever you enter google.com in the browser, how that will translate and how what exactly happens in the backend. And is a burp suite tool which we do a web app pen testing, so which will explain the tool in detail and penetration testing and all the different attacks that we do from any hacker will do on the web applications. We'll explain with hands-on experience on the live targets as well. This is the OAS Top 10, which is a non-profit organization, which they will have up-to-date attacks, which they will release every 4 years. The top 10 attacks, which we'll explain. So once the web app is done, we'll explain the network security overview and also the API security in detail and the cloud security as well. And the most exciting part is we'll also introduce to the bug bounties. What is bug bounties? So how this will really help us to your career when you don't have any real-time experience and you want to get into cybersecurity, then definitely these bug bounties will help you. The what are the topics that you have learned or implemented? You can implement that in real hands-on live targets like Paytm, Netflix, Google, Yahoo, on live domains. And if you find out any real vulnerability, they will pay you some dollars. And that number of vulnerabilities you can put that in your resume, and it will definitely help you in your career, and you get a job in cybersecurity based on this bug bounties experience. So, identifying the vulnerability is one part, and writing that report is really crucial part where the other stakeholders need to understand what is the impact that this vulnerability will create on the organization. So what we need to fix to remediate this vulnerability. Definitely the do's and don'ts we'll gonna explain on this on the report writing. I will also give the career guidance on how to get a job in cybersecurity. Will give tips on resume. We'll upload the profiles in different recruiting firms, recruiting sites, and definitely we'll have support on there. And we'll also send out all the materials also. So this course will be covering in 2 months, which covers all web app, API, mobile, cloud, and network security. Okay, let's get started with the journey. I think. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.